Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone. We'll start with the orientation lecture of CB2, Business Economics. So, as you all might know, hold on. Yeah. As you might know, CB2 is a bit of a theoretical subject. It's a bit different from what you might have, what the other levels you might have already cleared, like CS1, CS2, CM1, CM2. It's based on economic concepts, economic ideas. There are various graphs, and it's divided into microeconomics and macroeconomics. Micro consisting of the economical information and economical ideas that we need for a firm level basis, for a company level basis, and macroeconomics consisting of the whole economy wide decisions, demand side, supply side, exchange related that we have to make. So this is how the whole business economics generally goes. It's everyone would say it's bit of an easier subject. You can combine it with multiple subjects. Yeah, that is true. That shouldn't be an issue. You can surely combine this subject with any other, probably some more difficult subject that you are giving, or let's say if you are not clearing any other subject, let's say in this September attempt. Suppose you have given any CM or CS paper in the September attempt, you are waiting for it results, and by chance, because of some unfortunate luck, you are not able to clear any of your CSCM papers, you can surely combine this CB2 paper with that and clear both of those papers in the April attempt. Since the April attempt is a bigger attempt, you would have 6 months for preparation. That is more than enough for CB2. So, like the quote says, nothing is particularly difficult or hard if it is broken down into smaller jobs. So, like with proper planning and everything, when if we'll break down CB2 into consistent goals and targets every week, every month, we will be easily able to complete it and complete it prior to everyone else and have a better chances at clearing it in the first attempt. Moving on, I'll just give a short description about myself. So, my name is Sunny Savla. I have done my bachelor's in financial markets from HR College of Commerce and Economics. Qualifications wise, I am a qualified FRM, having cleared both the levels of FRM, and I have cleared 12 actuarial papers according to the older syllabus. Out of the 15 papers, I have cleared 12 papers. I am a consultant at Deloitte India currently, having almost a work experience of around 1 to 1.5 years, having experience in market credit risk and financial risk management, consulting the banking and other financial institutions in India. At Actuarial Academy, I teach the following subjects: CB1, CB2, and CP1. So, like you can see from the subjects I teach, it's more towards theory, conceptual, idea-based subjects that I prefer to teach. It's not like my maths is a bit weak or not an issue. There are other very well other professors who teach the mathematical side of the levels. My main focus is on the theoretical side and how to study those theory subjects. This is a little bit introduction about myself. I'll move on to how the whole CB2 structure is and what we would have to study and give this April attempt. So, like all the levels have acted specified core reading material or the what we call as course notes. CB2 has the acted course notes for sure, which are mentioned out here, the CB2 course notes. But one issue with the CB2 course notes is that it does not contain enough theory or enough material that we can read. CB2 course notes always refer to this book known as a John Sloman book, which is written by a professor, an economist, John Sloman. So this is a extensive book consisting of various chapters and various details, and every section and every bit of this CB2 course notes refer to this John Sloman book. So we can say that this is the core reading. This is not published by Acted. This is author specific economist. It's written by an economist, John Sloman. So it's author specific book that you have to refer. Also, most if we look at the previous prior to 2019, the book that was there, that was your CP7. CB2 was called as CP7 prior to 2019, and Since post 2019, the whole curriculum has changed, but some of the chapters still haven't changed. So whatever chapters were there previously, you have to refer it from the CT7 course notes as it's properly mentioned. They are widely conceptually cleared in the CT7 course notes. These course notes are like your all other course notes, which have enough details, which have enough questions and everything. So for 70% of our portion, you have to refer to CT7 course notes, and for 30% of the portion which is new and which has come into picture after 2019, you have to refer to John Sloman book. So now you might be wondering, CB2 course notes mein hai kya fir? So the CB2 course notes just has questions, MCQs, practice questions, chapter के बीच में जो questions होते हैं, that's it. There is no core reading like chapter wise reading, conceptual reading, diagrams in the main CB2 course notes. So again, out of looking at this, it looks a bit tedious कि कहाँ से कौन सा portion उठा है कि 70% here, 30% there, here and there, up and down. How should we do it? So you do not need to worry about it. We have something called as our study notes, which are prepared by us at Actuarial Academy, and this study notes combine all these three. Okay, so it will include all the questions from your CB2 course notes. It will include John Sloman ka, because see, John Sloman is the author specified book. It is a very extensive and big book, including, and it goes into much detail, which is not even required in our CB2 portion. So that level of detail and that level of extensive knowledge, it's very extra in that book. So concise, summarized format of John Sloman book, concise summarized format of CT7 course notes and of CB2 would be available in our own study notes that we would share across with you. So if you are already in college, if you are working, or let's say if you are appearing any other paper alongside CB2, my job and our job would be to make your life easier by giving you this study notes so that you don't have to make and write and make your own notes specifically. Everything would be there in this study notes, and this is very well what you can refer to during exams as well. In exams, you can't keep three books open. So exams may, if you just keep our study notes open, that would be enough, and that would help you solve like 10, 20, 25% of the paper. Just like any other course notes help. So this study notes would help you in those sense. I'll just show you a glimpse of how the study notes look like. I'll just clear everything. So these are the PPTs that would be presented during the lecture. This, like you can see, this include graphs, this include definitions, these include some examples, and everything there is to know is there in these study notes or the PPTs that I would be presenting during my lecture, and we would be sharing across with you simply this, which from which you can refer, whether it's formula, whether it's diagram, everything would be covered basically in this study notes that we share. This is the CB2 course notes. Again, we'll be sharing this with you too. The CT7 book, the older prior to 2019, what the course notes was, and this is the John Sloman edition that I was talking about. As you can see, it's a 900-page book, and it is extensively covered with lot of examples, lot of information, which is way too much extra for our own syllabus. So this is the core reading of CB2 that you'll come across. Yeah, moving on to the syllabus of CB2. If you have any one of you, if you have any doubt, you can stop me, interrupt me, and ask it now and now itself, or we can cover your question later on after the end of this orientation lecture. It will be open. You can have any of your questions. Yeah. So starting with the syllabus consists of microeconomics and macroeconomics, as mentioned by me. In the initial chapters come from microeconomics, and these are the initial 9 chapters. Based on this number of pages, you can ignore because this is based on the CB2 book, and the CB2 book, since it does not have that much core reading or anything else, deciding the difficulty of chapter based on number of pages is not a good indicator. So you can see here the expected completion date. So each chapter wise there will be an expected completion date by which all the lectures would be shared with you, and post that in the next week or the current week end on a Saturday or a Sunday, we would be conducting a short mock test, chapter wise, one chapter, two chapter combined. Let's say if a chapter is very easy, like some of the initial one, two, three chapters, if they are very easy, we can club these chapters and take a mock test. Or if let's say the chapter is very difficult, probably as you can see, these chapters look very difficult, and according to me, I know these chapters and they are a bit difficult. So in that case, single chapter wise test, just 1 hour test consisting on some MCQs, some numericals, some questions would be taken, so that you get to see or get to sit in the exam conditions and attempt some new questions. Use our actual study material कि कितना तुम्हें study material help होता है. Are you able to control F and find the details that you require to answer those questions or not? And post those 1 hour test, will try to have a short 30 minutes call and try to discuss the answers and discuss what each of your ideas and opinions towards a particular question were. So even though we have a whole course notes and have the materials, exam may the questions do come a little bit as case study based. So case studies can be difficult. There could be like any particular example about any particular firm, company, any society, any government related question. Let's say government is facing XYZ situation now, what to do, which policies to implement. There can be tens and 15s of different ideas, 15 other sub points or 15 ideas that can be an answer to that particular question. So whenever such questions come into mock, those mock tests would be framed by me. I'll ensure that those are some case study, little bit case study based, and they'll give you a good practice, and we can discuss such case studies, ideas, and opinions, whatever is going on in the current market, because questions do come from that as well. So such sessions post the mock test would be conducted on weekends so that every one of you can attend, and those will help you to get more and more ideas and pointers on different aspects which are not there in the book but which might get tested in the exam. So this is the microeconomics bit, the initial 9 chapters. Uh, so if you are from a commerce background and if you have studied economics in 11th and 12th, these 1, 2, and 1, 3, and 4 chapters, chapter number 1, 3, and 4 would be a little bit easier to you, but later on the difficulty level increases and it's the same for everyone. So it's nothing to worry about if you are not from a commerce background, or let's say if you are done with graduation and if you have forgotten economics as a coach. So not an issue with regards to this. There are some of a few people who have joined recently, so don't worry, you have not missed anything as such. The lecture that I'm taking now, the orientation session is being recorded. So those who are joining late, or those some of your friends who have missed, you can share your Gmail IDs to me, and I'll share this recorded lecture with them so they can watch at their own pace. Okay. Moving on to the next part of the syllabus. I won't bore you with the details of the chapters because एक chapter के पीछे there will be 5, 6 sessions, lectures. वो सब में will go into depth in each and every chapter. But now just I'll brief you what the syllabus is. Chapter wise details अभी ये session में I won't be covering. That is logical enough. So part 2 that I have broken down is basics of macroeconomics. We'll start with macroeconomic objectives, environment, how it looks like, international trade, how it happens, and why two countries trade, the financial system, and the money market policies. Some of the basics of the macroeconomics. Again, if you are from a commerce background, chapter number 11 and 12 would be a little bit easier for you, but these other chapters are again completely new compared to our 11 12 portion or any other commerce portion in wherever economics is present. So this is part 2 of our syllabus, and moving on to part 3, which is proper pure macroeconomics. It consists of government policies, it consists of theories from different schools of economics. So economics mein how it is that no theory or no opinion is completely correct. There can be two different minded people. So as you can see, classical and Keynesian theory. फिर यहाँ पे it's a monetarist and Keynesian response to those theories. So there are different groups of people, different groups of economists. Like in our case, how political parties are there, सबका opinion अलग अलग होता है. Likewise in economics, in reality, there are different strands of thoughts, different ideologies की एक situation है उसमें one group of people will think in one particular way, another group of people will think in another particular way. So all those things are covered in these chapters. Then we'll move on to supply side, demand side policy, exchange rate policy, basically policies by the government or the state, and how to mitigate different issues with regards to supply, demand, and exchange rate. This is pure macroeconomics, these three chapters, and some other chapters on global harmonization, monetary union, the European Union, currencies, exchange rates, and lastly, a debate on the ideas of different economists, like I mentioned in chapter 16 and 17. So this is the whole syllabus, total 23 chapters of CB2. As you can see, I have put in the expected completion date everywhere. So just to stay on track and just to give a rough estimate of when the portion would be done, and the final expected time to complete the whole portion is 28th of February 2023, which is almost 1.5 months before the exam. Again, here I am being very conservative, and let's say if you are planning to give some other paper with CB2, or let's say if you are working or any other thing that you have, any other option you want, if you want to complete a portion little bit more early, we can see there is option where I can send you recorded lectures of the later chapters, and you can watch it at your own speed. You can try and complete your portion by 1st Feb as well, if that's what you require. So this 28th Feb is my target for the whole batch as such. There are people who will go a little bit. There are people that उनका delay होगा 28th से delay हो के let's say 15th March तक portion खत्म होता है because of work, because of college or any other thing. So still 15th March you are 1 month prior to your exams, and there are some other people as well. There will be different people who will want to complete their portion by 1st week of Feb. So I'll ensure that if you want to complete your portion early, I send you all the recorded lectures early, and I'll personally conduct your doubt solving and mock test early, so that you are in a good position to complete your portion early if you are planning to give some other papers together along with CB2. So you have all the options, but our overall batch target for everyone is 28th of Feb. Moving on to the exam pattern of CB2. So there are instances where IFOA has published that the exam pattern of how the paper would look like would change. They are moving on to more objective based and worksheet based styles. The whole paper would be in a worksheet format where the questions would be phrased such that there'll be some, shorter fill in the blanks type of questions. MCQs would definitely stay, and the case study based questions would also be broken down into shorter 4 mark, 6 mark questions. मतलब एकदम बड़े questions of 10 markers would be removed. This is what they have published, but there is nothing of proper clarity as such. And again, that's just an exam pattern. Syllabus में there is no such change. कि एग्जाम पेपर कैसा आएगा उसमें there are chances that there will be a little bit ups and downs. Accordingly, we'll prepare. Accordingly, we'll have our mock test at the end. Once the portion is done, we'll have the mock test according to whatever the new exam pattern is. So that IFOA has still not given complete clarity on that, but once we receive it, we'll do accordingly. But this exam pattern is according to what the pattern has been there since 2019. In 19 के बाद all this attempts में क्या pattern था? This is that particular pattern. So you will be having 26 MCQ questions of 1.5 marks each, totaling to 39 marks. So you might think, okay, MCQs है एकदम easy रहेगा. That's not the case. You can talk to some of my past students as well who have given the CB2 exam. You can see the reviews on Instagram, on LinkedIn as well of my CB2 teaching. And generally as well, the MCQ questions, you might think it's easy, but they would be phrased such that the चारों option correct लगेंगे तुम लोग को. So you need to be very, very sure of the diagrams, very, very sure of the concepts, because MCQ questions you can't do control F and search. अगर let's say मैंने तुम्हें 2 mark का theory question पूछा, even if you write थोड़ा सा random, you will be getting half mark या 1 mark तुम्हें मिल जाएगा उसमें 2 में से. If there is a 1.5 mark का MCQ question, option A right है, तुमने B mark किया, 0, right? So getting and doing MCQ questions is the major trick, and we'll ensure that you get enough MCQ questions ka practice for each chapter wise. And after doing all the portion, pura revision notes wise as well, and mock test mein also will focus on MCQs so that ye 39 marks mein se you score as many marks as possible. So this is basically MCQ related. MCQs would come related to diagrams, numericals, definitions, small case study based MCQs, conceptual based MCQs. MCQs can come in any angle related to any area. Then post the MCQs, post the 26 questions, there will be other questions of theory ranging from 3 to 5 marks, 5 to 7 marks roughly. They would be specific chapter related or a group of chapter related, मतलब chapter number 3 or 4 का combined एक question आया. Likewise, normal how CSCM papers have the questions, normal 3, 5 marks, 7 marks questions, short, they'll test your conceptual knowledge. ऐसे type के questions आएंगे. Then at the end, there will be two large questions of 10 marker each. So this is again 20 marks. And so as you can calculate, this will make 59 marks. And 59 के बाद यहाँ पे ये questions जो है, I'll just erase this. Yeah, these questions would be 41. And this last two questions of 10 marks each would comprise of 20 marks. So this is how the paper pattern is. They are very consistent with their pattern. The ऐसा ही same pattern they have been following for last, I guess, 10 years or something. They have not changed it. And 2019 के बाद consistently in all the attempts, this is what the paper pattern is followed. So we have a good enough, wherever paper pattern is constant or similar, we as students have a very big advantage that we can focus in related areas. There might be some students who just MCQs अच्छा जा रहा है, so then they can focus on these two 10 mark questions. सिर्फ 10 mark questions read कर सकते हैं, and accordingly I can have one-to-one call with them कि कैसे 10 mark पे focus करना है. Then there will be some students जिनका 10 mark questions अच्छे जा रहे हैं, case study based questions भी जा रहे हैं, MCQs अच्छे नहीं जा रहे हैं. So we can focus towards that direction. Whichever bit is weak, you can focus on that. If you have a proper paper pattern, we can schedule our paper कि 3 hours 5 minutes का paper होता है. So we can schedule it कि how to start your paper, कितना time, कितने ये 3 part में से कितना time किसको कितना देना चाहिए according to your speed that I will analyze post your mock test. So all these things will happen once your lectures start, once we start with the mock test, once I analyze how each and every one of you, every student would be different. Some might be good in MCQs, some might be good in theory, case study based questions. So accordingly, per student will focus on each and everyone's weakness and strengths. Yeah, so last two questions, 10 marker each. Case study based, एक case आएगा पूरा, let's say government of XYZ country is facing this problem, पूरा they'll describe the problem, and now you can give your solutions. That problem can be related to current issues as well, कि currently which government is facing this. ऐसे एकदम नाम नहीं देंगे for sure, but whatever is happening currently, high inflation, high interest rates. So in this case, how to get out of this situation. Let's say a country is performing very good, continuous growth हो रहा है, एकदम boom हो रहा है. That has led to higher inflation. So now what will happen? That is basically macroeconomics related questions. So micro के base भी होगा कि let's say a small chocolate company XYZ is there, it wants to expand its business, but demand नहीं बढ़ रहा है, ये case वो case. In that case, what to do? So this is just me giving a little glimpse of examples how the questions would be. इससे तो बहुत difficult questions होते हैं, and they create a case properly. ऐसे randomly case नहीं create करेंगे, but पूरा 5 line 6 line का case रहेगा, and उसके basis पे those 10 mark questions would be there, and you have to write as many ideas, opinions and alternatives to that particular problem. You have to write advantages, disadvantages of a particular given situation. तो तुम एक opinion, एक idea suggest कर रहे हो, so उसका positives, negatives, everything you have to write in this 10 mark questions. So this is how the exam pattern looks like. If you have any doubts, you can ask right now, or we can move on ahead. I guess we can move on. And even if you have any doubts, if you are not, open to share it in this lecture, you can reach out to me personally. You can call me or text me on my WhatsApp, and we can discuss your doubts. So that is not an issue. Yeah, so what makes CB2 different? It is surely different from your CS, core statistics and core mathematics papers. There you have numerical based questions, answers, you have different CAPM models, insurance premium computation, reserving, and all those things. Where एक number रहेगा, the premium should be, let's say, 150 pounds. So that is one particular answer. 150 pounds आया तुम्हें answer, so you will get whole 5 marks पूरा if your steps are right basically. So that there is one answer to one problem in those CSCM papers. But since this is a theory paper, here you won't have one answer to one problem. जो भी case study based questions होंगे, जो भी theory questions होंगे, उसमें there involves a bit of subjectivity. So if for a 5 mark question you write 10 points and if another student also write 10 points, दोनों के 10 points एकदम अलग अलग है, but both are correct, then both of you would get marks. Getting my point? So here there is no such thing as fixed answers to fixed questions. सब अलग अलग लोगों के आइडियाज ओपिनियंस अलग अलग होते हैं. So that's what will help you when after mock test you would be having such discussions, short 30-minute discussion or just of theory questions. MCQ में तो सी एक आंसर ही होगा. Let's say option C is correct. There is one particular thing in MCQ. There are numericals as well, which will come 5 mark का 7 mark का numerical questions भी आएगा to compute the GDP, to compute gross national income of the country. ऐसे सब, there is just an example और भी questions है international trade and other chapters के base पे where numerical based questions would come. So in that case also there will be one particular number as an answer. You can get full marks. But जो भी theory questions that I mentioned, so in the pattern, this areas basically that I'm targeting now. जो last two questions है and जो other theory questions है, there can be multiple points and multiple opinions to each. So after each mock test, इन द मॉक टेस्ट आई एंश्योर कि मैं एक ऐसा तो क्वेश्चन डालूं जो एकदम सब्जेक्टिव हो और जिसपे बहुत सारे आइडियाज ओपिनियंस बन सकते हो. विल डिस्कस इट सो दैट योर 10 पॉइंट्स द अदर पर्सन नोस, जिसने एक पूरे ही दूसरे ही अलग ही 10 पॉइंट्स लिखे हैं. यू गेट टू सी हिज 10 पॉइंट्स, यू गेट टू सी हिज आइडियाज एंड ओपिनियन, एंड his that will benefit you, and also for him as well, he'll get to see your points and तुमने कैसे आंसर फ्रेम किया, तुमने कौन से एंगल से सोचा, उसने कौन से एंगल से सोचा. we'll discuss it, both angles are right. So basically you will get ideas, and exam में if something related to that comes, you will be able to write collaborated. 10 में से तुम 15-18 पॉइंट लिख पाओगे, which will ensure कि you get most marks in those 10 marker questions or theory questions. So basically, ideas, opinions, kabhi bhi, when you share and when you discuss, even I'll give my own opinions, and whatever our batch size is, I'm expecting this time the batch size should be around 6 to 8 or even 8 to 10 people, and other people will join, I guess, post results. So this is a short batch, and because of the limited batch size, I'll be able to give enough attention to each one of you, enough span, so that after checking your mock test, I'll be able to assess your strengths and weaknesses, which part your strengths are, which part your weaknesses are. And this 7-8 ka batch, after all mock tests, when we'll sit and discuss, it will be very easier to discuss all our answers and how different people think differently and how you can benefit from those ideas. So yeah, what makes CB2 different? New case-based questions every paper. 10 marker questions are completely new in every paper. There is a focus of economic concepts and definitions. Your conceptual knowledge and definitions should be very straightforward, very clear, so that you can able to answer MCQs. And जो 3 to 5 marker questions है, they focus on these economic concepts and ideas. The exchange rate, USD INR exchange rate अभी 82 है, 83 है और गिर रहा है. So in that case, what the government should do? So it's a very specific answer. You should be clear कि exchange rate गिर रहा है, मतलब currency depreciate हो रहा है. So what all things you need to do to stop that, to reduce that, and to improve our exchange rate. So that is basically focus on economic concepts, conceptual knowledge and ideas तुम्हारे strong होने चाहिए in that matter. Ability to understand diagrams and solve MCQs. MCQs speed में कैसे solve करना, how to eliminate options, how to select, how to, even if you don't know, how to try and reach to the correct answer. Again, that is important. And typing speed and paper completion, it matters a lot. For all that, this is a general point. This is there for all our actual papers in general. So this is what makes CB2 a bit different. It has proper enough theory and enough little bit of solving, little bit of MCQs, which you might have not faced across in the other papers. So moving on to our own roadmap for the next April exams. So our exam date this time is 11th April 2023. So this is the exam date. And like you saw, our portion completion timing is Feb end. But still, if due to some reason, if some of my student lacks, let's say किसी का exams or college exams or work में there were issues, I'll ensure that every one of my students cover completes its portion by mid-March 2023, giving him or her enough time, almost a 1 month time for complete revision, complete MCQ solving, past paper solving, trying to focus on strength and weakness. कि अभी 23 chapters हो गए, अभी कौन से chapters में you are completely sure of कि सब right जा रहा है, कौन से chapters में you are still weak. Let's say microeconomics के थोड़े chapters में diagrams में you are weak. So in those last month we can focus on that, we can strengthen that, and basically if you are completing a portion 1 month in advance, you are very much ahead of everyone who is appearing CB2. जनरली लोग एकदम लास्ट तक में पोर्शन खत्म करते हैं. इट्स वेरी लेस टाइम टू रिवाइज, वेरी लेस टाइम टू प्रैक्टिस पेपर्स. You would be ahead of them, and that will increase your chances of passing. Post this mid-March, there'll be 3 mock tests conducted, one or two from Acted IFOA. So Acted publishes its mock exams every year or every attempt. So we would purchase that and we would give it to you, and so that you yourself can attempt those Acted mock tests. So 1 or 2 mock tests would be coming from Acted, and another one would be prepared by me myself, and I'll be conducting that. So 3 mock tests, and mock test के बाद I'll check and give your results, and doubt solving would be conducted in those last 1 month. You also have freedom to solve other papers like 2022 ka paper, 21 ka paper, which are not there in the revision notes. So revision notes would be till 2019 or 20. So you can solve those papers. You can solve IAI India ka papers as well if you have time, and I'll ensure that I'll check it and give it to you, and we can discuss कहाँ पे mistakes हुए हैं, कहाँ पे you can strengthen, and all those things would be done in that last 1 month, which you have enough time for revision, enough time for improvement. So this is our whole roadmap of how we'll proceed the batch, and just concluding it with why you should join the Actuarial Academy. So since most of some of you might be from college or in college or just passed out college looking for jobs, we at Actuarial Academy would ensure that you will get good placement. You can get access to our workshops, you can get access to our interview preparation. Even we are in business since the last 2 years. We have a lot of students working in various companies, may it be life insurance, health insurance, general insurance, consulting firms like Deloitte, EY, KPMG, or any other banks as such. We have our good contacts in all those industries. So if you are looking for jobs or even internships, we can help you get those jobs and internships. We can help you in interview preparation personally. This is what you will benefit. Apart from CB2 ka learning, that is one proper benefit. Along with CB2, this is the two of the things are kind of an extra benefit that you will get post joining Actuarial Academy. So this is with regards to some extra areas. My modes of teaching. So I did not mention that earlier. So that would be offline, hybrid, basically online and pre-recorded. So some of the easier chapters which I mentioned would be pre-recorded. Other chapters would be conducted online on weekends, Saturday and Sunday. And if there are some difficult chapters and if everyone in the batch demands an offline lecture, or let's say you want a mock test to be conducted offline, you want the mock exams, मतलब March हो गया, portion हो गया, proper 3 hour mock exam. If you want to conduct offline, we have an offline facility available in Mumbai, and we would be okay to conduct those lectures offline as well. So there is a proper offline flexibility. And if some of you are, let's say, working or in college, you might prefer online or pre-recorded videos. So even those would be sent out to you. Portion completion 1 month prior. This I have mentioned. Extensive training sessions. So that would include chapter wise or a combination of chapter wise mock tests, Once a group of chapters are done, let's say 4-5 chapter ho gaye, you solve the revision notes, then revision notes ka doubt solving sessions would be conducted by us. So that includes extensive training sessions and doubt solving. Chapter wise tests, mock exams, and one-on-one conceptual tests. So if after some time, since the batch size would be smaller, I'll be able to give personal attention on each and every one of you, and I'll make sure to follow up with you at least once a week or once or 2 weeks. I'll myself connect with you on call and ask you portion kaisa chal raha hai, how everything is going, why are you lagging behind, or anything of that sort. If you have any doubts, you can reach out to me on that too. So this is overall gist of it. This concludes our CB2 orientation session. Now the stage is open for your doubts. If you have any, I'll stop and pause and answer any of your doubts.
Hello. Hello.
Okay. Parth, so the batch has officially started from 15th of October, and since we are a bit early, I'll start sending my recorded sessions. Like I mentioned, initial chapters are a bit easier, so I'll send recorded sessions to you starting today or tomorrow, and you can watch those. And you can consider. I have also shared some of the demo lectures. मतलब ऐसे ही random topics के chapter 6, chapter 13, random chapters के demo lectures. You can watch those demo lectures as well, and you can get an idea of how the whole teaching and everything goes. And post those demo lectures, you can enroll. So the fees for enrollment now, in if you register in October, it's 10,000. And once, let's say, if you register a bit late, the early bird option will go, and the fees would be a bit higher than 10,000. So now the fees is 10,000. And if you have any of your friends or colleagues who's also willing to join for CB2 or any other, we do have referral discount option as well, and that would basically give you a discount on the fees. So yeah, the fees payment structure we can discuss personally, and I'll share you the payment details on how you will have to make the payment. Hope that answers your question part. Anyone else?
I want to ask that classes will be held regularly.